Hello everybody, I am Fuzzy Face and welcome back to this Williams Resurrection career on Motorsport Manager. It is the season finale. We're back today with the final race of the season. It is the oval track in Phoenix. Let's see how these Formula 1 cars do on an oval track. I don't know if it's going to be a good race for us. Somehow we need to finish ahead of the two Haas cars, ahead of Roman Grosjean and ahead of Kevin Magnussen. If we can do that, we have secured 6th place. 7th wouldn't be a bad position to finish in, but we have been in 6th place for a long time. But Haas have been coming back really strong as the season has sort of ended. We've sort of faded away. I think, when was the last time we were actually in the points? It's been 2 races without points now. Before that, we had Kubica in 4th place. That was in Phoenix when we just did the normal Phoenix Grand Prix. So hopefully we're going to have a good Grand Prix here. We're currently working on another rear wing. It's got 10 days left. Whether that has chance to complete before the end of the season, I'm not quite sure whether we actually get that built, but things are looking good for next season. We do have, it says 4th here, but it should rise again to the 3rd best engine once we get to next year. As you can see, we're not far off having the best engine. Our Mercedes customer engine almost being as good as the Mercedes one themselves, and we're just about on the limit of the averages for a lot of these parts, especially with the front wing, the suspension. So hopefully we're going to be there or thereabouts to that 6th place that we've been chasing, that 6th best overall car next season. We're currently 10th overall with the car, so Sauber have improved ahead of us. Obviously the computer can add parts to their car. I have a set schedule of when I can introduce parts to the car, when I can introduce upgrades. The last one was in Milan. The last one was actually in Phoenix, although we didn't introduce any of them because we started concentrating on the next year's cars. The drivers have slightly improved, because if we just have a quick look at the mail, where is it? We need to find this from Eddie Jordan. Kubica, the distractions are over. It's just racing for me now. He's got a renewed passion which lasts for 20 weeks, which wouldn't last to next season anyway, which is good because he's been released from the team. It does get him to about just under a 4-star rated driver, which is the same rating that Esteban Ocon has in this game, who is our main target for next season. He's around that level as well, so it's going to give us a good idea pretty much of how Esteban Ocon is going to be doing in the car next year. But enough about me talking about what's coming up. Let's get straight in to this final race of the season. We'll skip over practice as we normally do. We've just got to go for this one. We know the contracts are running down. We're not going to offer the contract to Sergey before the race, because then we would have to pay him a lot more just for this race if he signs a new contract. We're going to wait till after. We're going to get the contract offered to Sorokin, maybe offer the contract to Esteban Ocon as well at that point, and get on from there. But anyway, we're going to jump over practice and we'll be back in a second to go through qualifying. So practice over. We seem pretty quick, but as we've seen, practice doesn't really mean anything once we get into qualifying. Hopefully we're not going to be really far down the order. We've got that one of the Haas is quicker than us. Vettel quickest this weekend in practice, so it looks like he's going to celebrate his title win, maybe with a pole position, maybe with a win. But anyway, we'll get onto the softs and the qualifying trim for both of these guys. The car setup is perfect for this track, so hopefully we're going to have a good qualifying session. As usual, we'll just wait for a couple of the cars to start coming out of the pits before we send one of ours out. Going to be sending Sorokin out first, and there we see the first cars emerging, so here we go. Wait until Sorokin gets out of the pits as per usual. Cross the line, there we go, and then we'll get Kubica out as well. I'm guessing the AI cars are only going to do 2 runs as usual, so there's going to be like a massive 27-minute along in this qualifying session where there's absolutely no one on track. But as we see, Sorokin, I didn't actually see what he did with his car, almost there and perfect with the brakes, I think. Or was it the tyres? I didn't even see. But Sorokin's 6th, slowest at the moment. Kubica goes into 8th, so the 2 slowest cars around this track. Doesn't look well for us going further into this qualifying session. We've got the Sauber quicker, we've got one of the Sauber slower than us. But as we see, Leclerc around 2/10 quicker than us. As we normally see, the Force Indias and the Haases get straight back out, is it? No, it's not the Haas that's coming straight back out, is it? No, it's just the Saubers coming back out. We're going to see Yeah, the Haas's have come back out, and I don't think we're going to see... Is that everyone that usually comes out? And the Toro Rossos, yeah, they come out right at the end. So the Toro Rossos are out as well. So we're just going to see whether any of these improve. No, we're currently 16th and 18th. We might have a little bit of room to improve at the end of the session. Whether we can actually do that or not is another question. So qualifying is winding down here. I don't know when we're going to see any of these other cars out on track. Obviously, that's just what we're waiting for. Waiting for some of these cars to emerge. And there we see them. So we're going to get Sorokin out. And as usual, let him come out of the pit lane. Kubica's form has dropped dramatically. I don't know if it was that low on the first qualifying lap, but it has dropped to a 1.9, which doesn't bode well for his last qualifying lap. Hopefully he can improve, but there's a massive gap. Nearly 2.5 tenths to try and catch up with Perez above him. Whether he can go ahead and do that. But we're going to see here, Sorokin does a good job with the tyres. His brakes slightly overheated. Hopefully he can put in a decent lap here. Kubica is going to be coming around. He's got a Mercedes that's going around in front. Hamilton looking like he could pick up boys. 4 tenths off though. I don't think he's going to gain 4 tenths on this. No, he's still behind. Vettel has grabbed pole. So Kubica is going quicker. Is he quick enough that he's going to pick up any places here? So Kubica, Sorokin even, goes 17th, almost as quick as Kubica's first lap. Kubica is going quicker himself as he picked up enough time with even with his form. So bad at the moment. He goes no quicker. He goes quicker, closes the gap, but stays 16th. 16th and 17th, not too bad here compared to what we usually do. I'm guessing it's just the rest of the car letting us down. Our engine is mightily powerful, but we're just being let down by the rest of the car. Vettel on pole. We'll just ignore the qualifying grid for the moment, and we'll go through it in a second. We're just going to work out the strategy for this race in Phoenix. This oval track could be a struggle for us. I think I saw Roman Grosjean pretty high up as well. So we've got a 49 lap race. We could do it pretty easily on a 2-stop strategy. Maybe a hard tyre, a soft, and then a hard, or a hard, medium, hard. Might be the best option just in case. The weather's pretty cool though, so we might be able to get onto a soft. It just depends how far we can make this hard tyre go in this opening stint. If we can get around 22 laps from Kubica, he can change. Obviously, Sorokin's not as good on the tyres as his teammate. He's going to possibly be definitely going hard, medium hard. So it's going to be the hard performance increase that we want. So we're going to go for the hard and the race trim. Both our cars following the same strategy here. And whether we're going to be a little bit slow on this strategy remains to be seen. Depends what the rest of the grid is doing. So we get Vettel on pole, Hamilton quite a way behind, almost 3 tenths behind. Valtteri Bottas pretty decent in qualifying for once on the second row. Kimi Räikkönen pretty decent in qualifying for once, but almost a second back on his teammate. And then we get back to the third row, who are almost a second, well, they are a second slower. Max Verstappen in 5th, Nico Hülkenberg 6th, Fernando Alonso 7th, Roman Grosjean 8th place. Doesn't bode well for us having one of the Haas's up there in the points already at the start of the race. A dodgy net for Danny Rick sees him all the way down in 9th place. Carlos Sainz in 10th place. Esteban Ocon 11th. Magnussen 12th, pretty near the points as well. Don't want him to be scoring points. Van Dorn 13th, Leclerc 14th, Perez 15th, Kubica off form 16th place. So if his form had been as much as Sorokin's, would have been able to pick up a few more places. We'll never know. Sorokin 17th, Hartley 18th, Gasly 19th for bringing up the rear. As per usual, if it's not Sorokin, it is Marcus Ericsson. But here we go. Hopefully we can get something going from the start. Our engine should help us out in traffic, powering past other cars, but whether that works out or not, maybe we should go for the medium strategy, which gives us a little bit more room to push in the early going. If we go ahead and do that, if we get both our cars attacking from the off now, since we didn't make the we didn't get off the line exceptionally, pretty decently we got off the line, but Kubica's form improving slightly. Hopefully it improves as the race goes on here. Sorokin back in 17th place, managing to both cars getting past Sergio Perez here. Kubica's form improving yet again. And he's going to make the move on Charles Leclerc, is he? No, this Ferrari-powered Sauber, we managed to blow past him. Looks like Sorokin can make that stick as well. Should we really want this to get to that 22 lap mark, and then we can sort of decide what we're doing with the tyres from that point. We didn't really want to be pushing too much in the early going. Should we settle in behind the Haas, or we really need to get up into the points as Grosjean has made a bad start, so he's outside. They've started on the softs as well, which might mean they might be making an extra pit stop than us. So we're just going to calm down a little bit now. We're going to run in neutral for a little while, try and get some distance into this race before we start thinking about doing anything else. Everyone's just running the same as us behind us, in front of us. Everyone's running neutral and high. We're doing 45.9 and 46.3. Yeah, so we're losing ground to the cars in front, but we're the first car. We're at the head of the pack that are on the hard tyres. Gasly and Hartley on the Toro Rossos must have started the race on worn hard tyres. But what are we doing? We're about 2 seconds down on Van Dorn in front, but we should be able to make this up later in the race once they start to pit and we have the luxury of pushing on these tyres a little bit further on. Should we hold back on the fuel though, since we just sat back, or should we keep pushing the fuel? I'm guessing we'll lap quite a lot slower if we go off the fuel, so we'll turn the fuel down and we'll see what the lap times are like. This lap was for Kubica, it was a 45, just dipping into under the 46s. Let's see what he's like this lap around. He's almost 3/10 down this lap on that first sector. Half a second down. Is that going to be half a second down there? 46.4. Is that just the fuel? And the tyre's getting pretty cold here as well, so we're going to have to go to high mode a little bit. Although the computer AI is keeping things pretty much in neutral. Obviously, it looks like they're going to try and go a long way into this race. We're almost 4 seconds down on Van Dorn. We've got some of the first cars coming to the pits as usual. The Renault's on a really aggressive strategy. They are places that we could pick up. Roman Grosjean is up here. We need to keep an eye out on these Haas's. They are the cars we need to beat. I don't think we've got the pace to be able to beat them. Kimi Räikkönen as well into the pits, and we're going to see some of the top order cars getting into the pits as well. Have we got Sorokin in front of Räikkönen? We have. So we get in front of one of the Ferraris, should be holding them up. Early pit stops for a lot of the top of the order. So Kubica now running 11th. Sergei Sorokin 12th place, almost 4 seconds down on his teammate. We're just trying to hold on to this gap. We're getting a lot of the cars in the pits now. They should be coming out. We're going to be able to sort of see what sort of strategy they are going for. Everyone coming out onto the medium tyres, so they're going soft, medium, and then if they go hard, they're not going to be able to get to the end of the race. So a lot of the top order cars potentially going for a 3 pit stop strategy here, and these tyres just wearing away here quite quickly. So we're going to have to go back in. We're going to have to let them cool down if we want to make this strategy stick. We're going to have to let these tyres just sort of cool down. There's not much room to push on these tyres. We're just going to sort of run our strategy. Tyres are probably going to get cold. We'll stop them from getting fully cold, which will affect performance. But if we just keep them running like this, we've got room to keep the engine mode in high mode. I don't think it's going to affect the engine too much. We've got a lot of room to work with this engine condition wise. So 5th place, Sorokin's currently 8th. We've got the quicker cars of Bottas and Räikkönen coming back at the moment. We move up into 4th place. I don't know how long a pit stop is here. I'm guessing it's the normal 20 seconds or so. Have we seen anyone pit? Where are the Haas behind us? We've got Roman Grosjean 33 seconds behind us. So that's the sort of thing we need to look out for. I'm guessing it is 20 seconds. Who's that running 19th? That's Brendan Hartley. We've actually lapped Brendan Hartley somehow. I don't know whether he's had a problem with his car, these Toro Rossos, or whether their tyres wore away. We know these tyres can get down to 0%, so that's what we're going to hope for. Try and get this first set of hard tyres as far as we can into the Grand Prix, and then we know we're pretty comfortable on that last set of hard tyres to push a little bit if we need to, or even on the mediums. We just want to get a good idea of how far these hard tyres can go, so then we know what to do on the middle stint. Sorokin, obviously, his tyres wear down a lot quicker. Just depends where we're going to pull out, and that is Brendan Hartley dropping back again. Is this the first time that Sorokin's lapped him? Lapping him though. Allows Perez past, which is not good for us. These tyres down to 10%. I think we can do another lap with Sorokin. Don't think these are going to fade away before then, or should we get him in this lap? No, we're going to get him in this lap. Just in case they fade away, we're going to get in for the medium tyre. We do have a slightly risky strategy, pit stop, but it's worth it for the time if we can pick up the time, because since we've got 2 pit stops, I kept the air crew in the car, and we're going to line up Kubica for his first pit stop as well. He's going to come in balanced. Hopefully there's no mistakes here. Sorokin's come out in 17th place. Kubica into the pits. Do not make a mistake, please. There we go. All good. Kubica now. We're going to push these tyres a little bit in the early going of this stint. Sorokin gets back out into 13th, so that's a pretty good pit stop for him. Perez, Leclerc have only just pitted as well. Kubica up into 13th place. Oh, I don't know what he's up with the Toro Rossos here. They're lapping really slowly. Look at that, 100 seconds behind the lead. We're already 55 seconds behind the lead. So where are we in regards? We're only about 10 seconds back on Roman Grosjean. So if we can keep this going and they make a third pit stop, we might be within touching distance. We need to get these tyres to around lap 32 so we can possibly keep in push mode here. And since we've been lapped, we've recovered the fuel as well. Whether we're going to stay lapped, it looks like we're going to stay lapped. If Vettel even pits again, we're going to stay lapped. So we've sort of reset our fuel load here, so we can keep going in high mode again here, which is good for us. Hopefully we don't get lapped at the end of the race and suddenly start needing to recover this fuel. But we're 46 seconds back. That should be enough. A lap here, what are we lapping at? 41 seconds. So we should be far enough back that even if the AI does another pit stop, we'll be up. But Kubica lapping really quick here. Manages to get past Van Dorn as well. Pretty good going here. So rocking up into 15. So Kubica's our main thing. We've closed the gap to Roman Grosjean as well. Look at that, only 3 seconds behind now. Closing the gap, and a lot quicker tyres here on this middle stint. We've closed the gap pretty well, and it looks like we're going to be able to start beating these Haas cars who are going to be coming into the pits as well. So we could be on for a good finish. We've actually closed the distance to Raikkonen, although Raikkonen's made a second pit stop, as has Valtteri Bottas. Hamilton's been in for his second pit stop as well. We're going to see Vettel coming into the pits this time. Are we? Is he going to stay out another lap? We're going to keep an eye on Vettel, because he's going to be the one that will tell us how long a pit stop takes. So I'm guessing we're going to see him in the pits this time. And Kubica, whilst we're concentrating on Vettel, has made the pass on Roman Grosjean. So we've got ahead of the two Haases, and one of them's coming in. So we're going to see Vettel. We're just going to watch this. Hamilton is 11.5 seconds behind, and it looks like the undercut sort of works, because if Hamilton gets out in front of him, he's 11 seconds behind. Vettel comes into the pits, and we'll see where he comes back out. He's 13 seconds down, so it seems like a pit stop takes about 24 seconds, which puts us in a really good position to pick up, well, to stay ahead of the two Haas cars and hold on to our 6th place in the championship. If we finished as we did now, we would be holding on to that 6th place, so things looking pretty good here. We're going to be able to get onto the hard tyre for the end of the race. Maybe we should start looking after this tyre a little bit now to make it go a little bit further, so we have some room to push. Oh, and it looks like we've unlapped ourselves, although I would expect ourselves to be lapped again. So we're just going to have to recover the fuel just in case. Although Sorokin's just been lapped, but they are going to pit again. So we're just going to have to be careful with the fuel as it is. I'm guessing Kubica's going to end up being lapped again. But if they do come in, it is going to be pretty close towards the end of the Grand Prix. So we don't want to... As we see, we're getting lapped now. We're in 6th place, but still getting lapped. Have we seen the other Haas cars come into the pit? So can we get out in front of these guys? 64 seconds. Yeah, we should be able to do that, and it looks like they're going to have to stop again on that medium tyre as well. So it looks like we could have this 6th place all sewn up here. Whether we can get a points finish out of Sorokin doesn't look like it's going to be possible. Just have to be careful with what we do. We're getting towards the 10% as well with Sorokin. He's gone past the pit stop, but he can do 19 laps. He's going to be able to finish on this hard tyre. Maybe we should go safe. We're not really going to lose too much time by going safe. It goes to a 2.1. That it's 1.8. We only lose 0.3 of a second, so we're going to go safe just in case we would end up losing any fuel. Kubica, should we get him in this lap, or should we can have him push for one lap here, can't we? Get him in high mode for a little bit, and then line up his pit stop coming in for this hard tyre. We'll go safe with him as well. He's going to be able to push. Is he going to be able to get out in front of Roman Grosjean's? About 20 seconds. We should come out of the pits around 4-5 seconds behind him. Obviously, he possibly does need to pit again, although we're being slowed down a little bit, it seems, by being lapped. So Sirotkin's into the pit, no mistakes. Kubica, I think Sirotkin actually slowed down a little bit there because we messed up. We've sent him out, we've kept him out a little bit too long. But Sirotkin comes out in 12th place. He's now got room to run just to the end of the race. We have to be careful. I think Sirotkin's going to stay lapped here so he can push for a little bit. Just have to be careful with the fuel just in case we get on lap. So we can get this around 2-0, although I think even if we got on lap now, yeah, I don't think there's any risk of us being on lap now, is there? I think the Mercedes are too far down the road. But we now have some ground to try and make up to get back into the top 10. Can we do it? We might see these pit again. Perez needs to pit again. I'm guessing Grosjean and Magnussen need to pit again. I think we left that medium stint just a little bit too long. But it should give us some room to push on this tyre now. So we're going to get pushing for a little bit. I think we can keep, maybe get Sirotkin going in overtake mode for a little bit. Kubica, are we lapping quicker than the cars in front? 42.8, Roman Grosjean on a 42.7. Are we going quicker this lap? We're picking up pace on this lap that we're getting to push on a little bit. We do a 42.1, so we are quicker at the moment. Still 10 seconds behind, but with these cars in front, possibly needing another pit stop. Otherwise their tyres would wear away. If it's finished as it is at the moment, Haas are in front, but I'm guessing we're going to be able to gain that position back, or Grosjean's going to fall out of the points, having to pit again. So Sirotkin's setting his quickest lap of the Grand Prix, goes 41.9 seconds. That is having himself going in overtake mode. So he picked up a lot of time on that last lap just going in overtake mode. Should we go one lap? No, we're going to have to recover. No, we'll go one lap. We'll try Kubica on full overtake mode for one lap to see what he can do. Here he goes. What's he going to be able to do? Half a second quicker, a second quicker, and then we'll switch him down when he crosses the line. A second quicker on that lap. What was that lap? A 40.3. Sets his quickest lap, and look at that, 38.8 from the Mercedes. We are now ahead of Roman Grosjean and ahead of Kevin Magnussen, which is what we wanted. And we're going to have to go in low mode. We've left Sirotkin a little bit too long there. Not to worry. We just need to stay in front of Roman Grosjean. He's got a long way back. That is good news for us. Kevin Magnussen's even further back. Kubica, meanwhile, is up into 7th place. We're going to have to go low mode with the fuel. We've got enough time to recover it. Things worked out there. We're getting lapped, which is going to slow us down, which is never good, which is giving Ricciardo the chance to catch up to us. Although we get past Verstappen, we're being lapped again. Just being lapped constantly, which gives the car behind. Look at that, Ricciardo gets to lap us. Well, not lap us, but he gets to get past us whilst we were lapping cars. Hopefully we can stay in front of Ocon now, but as we see the top of the order a lot quicker. Look, we're doing 44s, the Mercedes doing 40s. Just absolute speed from the Mercedes at the top, and we've been unlapped, haven't we? Well, not unlapped, but we've been lapped again, so we've got room to push with Kubica now again. I don't think we're going to see the Haas back in the point, which does mean we are currently leading in the championship over Haas by 4 points, coming up to the final few laps of the race. Could see Hamilton pit, although he's not going to. 87 seconds in front. Even if he does come into the pits, we're going to be. We've only done 45 laps, you see, but we're going to be able to finish a lot quicker. See, even as we go past Hamilton, that is not unlapping ourselves, so he would need to be in the pits a long time. Vettel in front as well. It looks like he's going to the end of the race on those soft tyres. Meanwhile, we can go and push this car a little bit more once again. I'm going full overtake mode as we come to our final laps of the race. And what were we doing last lap? Of 43.5. And that is the finish. 40.2 to finish the race. 9th place, Sorokin. Disappointing at the end. That middle stint sort of messed him up. He got lapped right again at the end. Once more. So he got lapped quite about 3 times. I think Kubica has lapped about twice. But not too bad. We managed to stay in front of the 2 Haas cars, which didn't look possible at the start of the race. Sort of concentrating on Kubica there to keep him ahead on this strategy. Not many cars went for a 2-stop. I think there was just about us and Sergio Perez in the Force India, Sauber. Not many cars going for the 2-stop. We were the one that made it work the best with the strategy. Only needed 15 laps on that second hard tyre. We've been lapped so many times our race ended before the 49th lap. So here we go, checking the cars. See if anyone's got any risky parts in their car. We did see Max Verstappen, he's been demoted 2 places, but not below Robert Kubica. Esteban Ocon finished 6th in that race. Sebastian Vettel first. Celebrates his championship win with a win in the final race of the season. Mercedes win the Constructors by a decent margin over Ferrari. Red Bull fell away as the season went on. McLaren 4th by quite a comfortable margin over Force India. We were nowhere near Force India when it came to the end. We managed to keep that gap over the Haas cars though, which is really good. So everyone's happy. Form is off here as we see his results throughout the season. Why does that list Phoenix another 2 times? That's a little weird, but his overall form this season has been a 6.9. Kubica's overall form has been a 6.2. We cannot see Lance Stroll's, obviously. Didn't have him running practice either. I thought it was better to try and get Sorokin's form up. Just so he could perform a little bit better in the race. It didn't work out for him because I thought we might need to get both cars near the points somehow to try and beat the Haases. Obviously, they both finished outside the top 10. Or did they get one in? I can't even remember. But Alexander Albon, double points in the last race. It looks like in Formula 2. Alexander Albon winning the last race of the season. And that gets him the title. Nicholas Latifi winning for a long time near the end. But that last win gets him an extra 24 points. He wins the title, which means Dam's pretty dominant at the end of the season. We're going to be seeing the Dam's car in Formula 1 next season. I'm guessing it was Toro Rosso that actually got demoted to Formula 2. But anyway, we'll see world champion Sebastian Vettel, Mercedes, the Constructors winner. We'll just have a quick look at the standings. Yes, it's Toro Rosso who are going to be in Formula 2 next season. It'll be disappointing for them whether they're going to change drivers next season. But we're going to get in. We'll just have a quick look at the pit crew. Well, it seems like everything's done there. We're going to put in our offer for Sorokin. Wages aren't very important to him, so I'm guessing we can knock him up just only 2. We'll give him equal status. He wants a long contract. We'll give him it. He says bonus size isn't important, so we won't offer him any bonuses at all. So hopefully he's going to go ahead and accept that. We'll come here and we'll get this offer in for Esteban Ocon as well. I think he's going to want about £600,000. Wages are important to me, which means we can knock him. Oh, he's wanting a little bit more. We'll try and knock him down too. And he only wants a short contract as well. We'll try offer him a medium contract. And we'll go even split, even though he says he doesn't mind who buys out the clause. And we'll give him a decent signing on bonus. He's wanting £3 million. We'll try at that. But we'll offer him decent bonuses for finishing in first place. Hopefully that negates what we're trying to lowball him here. Hopefully we can make this negotiation work for us. Hopefully, interview with Sky Sports. We'll just get this done. After his win today, we were wondering if he had any thoughts. Yeah, we'll just say, we keep getting that. We keep buttering him up. If we can keep doing that, we might be able to get him in. Maybe like Season 4 when we challenge him for the title. But we'll just do this just so we can see Sorokin's entourage causing problems. Morale plus 10. Mechanic relationship minus 25. Car repair finished. We're just going to see how much money we get and just see whether Dams accept the promotion. Received prize money 44 million. So it's under the 50 million mark. I'm guessing that's because maybe if you win the championship, you're going to get like 60 million. So most of the money is going to the top of the order. Maybe Mercedes are getting like 60 million pounds. So it's a little bit less than I was thinking we were getting after totting up the votes. The manager of the season is William Williams, which is us. And driver of the season is Esteban Ocon. Our driver next season, hopefully. So that is where we're going to leave this episode. Hopefully next season the car is going to be much improved. And we've had some decent results this season, but maybe we're going to be fighting in the top 10. In qualifying, that would be good. We're always qualifying low down the grid. If we can get to the top of the order in qualifying, we're going to have some really good races next season. We'll have the upgraded factory, so we'll have all the slots available to us to work on the car, the performance and the reliability. Especially the reliability early next season is going to be a big factor in us getting some really good points on the board early on in the season. If we can make that happen for us, that will be amazing. As it is, we've got 80 million in the bank. We're going to be getting another, how much have we been putting away? Next year's cars, we've put away 15 million pounds, 95 million, and we should have some sponsors coming next season. So yeah, things looking interesting. So we'll be back with the next episode tomorrow, which will be the season opener, the first episode of season 2. We'll get to look at the new car. We'll see if we've been able to sign the drivers we wanted. We'll go through the driver market for Formula 1 and all that stuff. But anyway, subscribe, hit that like button, follow me on Twitter, do whatever as usual. But I will see you down the road for Season 2 next time. And that is it for this video. So, goodbye.